Akash Maharaj is Ambassador at Large for the Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption and a Senior Fellow at the Munk School of Global Affairs and Policy. Good morning. Nice to have you.
Good morning, John.
Okay, so where does this put us? I mean, earlier in the show, I was saying it's sort of like saying, you can't fire me, I quit. I mean, Donald Trump says, you can't block the strait, I'm going to block it.
Well, initially, the situation seemed preposterous. Donald Trump was saying that it was an absolute imperative that the strait remain open to international maritime traffic, and that's why he's going to blockade it. He has since modified his position somewhat and said that U.S. Central Command is going to be blockading not the strait itself, but Iranian ports. In other words, his plan is to allow ships to pass through the strait other than ships that have docked in Iran. It's clearly an attempt on his part to prevent Iran from continuing to generate funding by exporting its own oil and by charging other ships a fee to pass through the strait, but not blocking international traffic. But that's going to be a very difficult job to carry out.
Well, and what is the likely outcome here? I mean, first of all, for the price of oil, I'm looking at futures this morning, and it remains above $100 a barrel.
The price of oil had fallen to as little as about $95 a barrel. But that, as you say, that is now behind us. Although most oil that passes through the Strait of Hormuz is purchased by countries in Asia, that is mainly India and China, the price of oil around the world is based on global supply and demand. So the price for ourselves as Canadians at the pump is going to continue to spiral upwards for the foreseeable future. A lot of the pressure that's probably going to be brought to bear on the Americans will therefore not come from Iran, but from their own domestic population who are feeling the pinch, as well as from economic allies in Europe.
So strategically, does this actually make sense? Donald Trump and the Americans say they're going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz, or as you say, Iranian ports. Does that actually seem like a workable strategy and a productive strategy?
It would be difficult to carry out. I mean, his plan, to the extent that we can draw conclusions from his plans, it appears that U.S. Central Command is not planning to leave ships in and around Iranian ports. To do so would be to make themselves ripe targets for Iranian drones, missiles, and sea mines. Instead, they're going to try to use a combination of intelligence and satellite monitoring to identify which ships are leaving Iranian ports and then trying to intercept or attack those ports. But there are challenges to that. So, for example, as I mentioned, most of the purchases of Hormuz oil are in China. Is the government of the United States really prepared to intercept Chinese ships? And if so, how is the government of China going to respond? Is the government of China prepared to use its own naval ships in order to guarantee the safety of its commercial ships? And if so, how will the United States respond? This is a moment that is fraught with peril for everyone.
Thank you for this. Good to have you.
And you.
Akash Maharaj is with the Munk School of Global Affairs and Policy.